Assalamu alaikum, hello and namaste. Welcome to another inspiring episode number 140 of the Limelight. I'm your host Fareen here. I'm a podcast coach, voice coach, and also an author. I have written a book called Before You Chew That Gum 11 Things to Know Before You Get Married for South Asian Men and Women. And it's available on Amazon.in, also in US and UK. Well, today on the hot seat, we have a very charismatic personality. She's an author, life coach, and NLP expert. So, listeners, please welcome our guest, Bhairavi Shah. Hello, Bhairavi. How are you doing today?
Yeah, great, Fareen. Thank you so much for having me here. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and it's a pleasure to have you on my podcast.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be on your platform too.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a
Well,
dream, I can say.
wow, that's amazing. Okay, now I wanted to ask you this question because I saw you have, written a book and published it. So, what really inspired you to write a book on parenting?
This book that I have written called Parenting, it's easy if you do it smart. So the reason was I see people around me, especially parents of very, very young children. Usually now the parents are working and they are more into stress and anxiety. And because they are working, they have less time to communicate with each other and coordinate. So, and they don't decide beforehand what are the disciplines they have in life or how they are going to discipline their own self or the family. And what sometimes they come from different cultures. Now that love marriages have become common, or intercaste marriages have become common, views of the parents differ. And then to communicate that with the children and in the family, that becomes a difficult issue. And setting the rule, the father may say something, the mother has something else to say, so these they are going in opposite direction and leading chaos in the home and confusion to the child, the child who is right and what the child should do. And basically the child imitates the parents. The parents are the role model for children. The parents are doing, then he will pick what is easy for him to do. So this is how it happens, and that is why it intrigued me, like these things need to be asked. And if parents together can decide on these things and come out with a stepping stone, like these are the norms of our house and this is how we function together as a unit, then it is easy for parents also. And that is why I subtitled it as it's easy if you do it smart. So when you are in conversation, when you communicate, especially these few points, and no doubt there are quite a few other areas also, finances, responsibility, too many areas, but I just picked a few now to mention now. Like so when you communicate, decide, and then you move forward, becomes easy. So the rules, the discipline in the house, the response, everything is decided, and you move smoothly. So this is what made me write this. And I can say that because I have divided this book in chapter wise, and at the end of each chapter I have given an exercise so that you can look back and see what has been happening in your family, where you stand, how you want to move forward. So that exercise is in itself an introspection of your life, and that will help you to find answers and learn how to move forward. So that is how this book made me, like this was a trigger point for me, because these chaos can really bring stress, anxiety. I see people with a lot of discomfort in their families, and leading to separation, divorce. It's basically only lack of understanding, nothing else beyond that. So once the points are communicated well, then things become smooth. So this was the main trigger for me to write the book.
Right, I agree with you on the communication thing because if there is no proper communication, be it our kids or with a husband or a wife, it creates a kind of a gap. What they're trying to, the silence
Right.
cannot talk anything. The silence can only just make us push away from them, right? So communicating in the right way, right manner, and I think everybody needs a book like this, especially new parents, because
Yes.
we don't know what to do when we have a kid and we're having things to manage, cooking, handling, and but we need a support system also.
Yes,
Right,
exactly.
right,
And today, quite often, parents are like, their children are working in different cities, the parents are in different cities. And, so that the elders in the family, the grandparents, parents, they are not with these children to take care of the young children. So that also is forming a big gap, because of which it becomes difficult for the young parents to handle the issue.
right. Okay. Can you share few tips about parenting?
Yes. So I would say that, see, in today's generation, we are bombarded with lot of information, and it is actually overwhelming even for us, and for the child also. So unless we can channelize that information that we are bombarded, even a child does not know what he should take in, what he should not. So we keep seeing that the child is glued to social media, watching many hours on the TV and all that, spending too much time there. So they become addicted to digital world. So we need to help them with the information they are being bombarded with, so the child is not confused and they can channelize their energy. uh, we need to set boundaries to give them opportunity. Setting boundaries maybe like, how you use the digital world, and giving opportunities maybe to explore, like, go play sports, get into different activities, physical activities more of. So the child knows how to, they build their skills, the self development happens, they learn to do work in as a team, they learn the leadership skills to communicate. There's so many things that the child will learn in the physical world than being glued to some gaming or some hobby or something. So I think that would be one of the biggest areas. And also, I see that parents nowadays don't give the responsibility to children. They have nannies, they have cooks, they have so many people to work for them, or they themselves keep doing things. The child does not know where he can contribute in the family, right? So when you give the child some responsibility, small tasks to do as a child itself, like, even when they are 1 or 2 years, 3 years old, even at that time, just carry the spoon. A 1 year old can always carry one spoon and keep on the dining table. So even like that, if they learn things, it will build their self confidence, their self esteem. In the long run, it helps in building all those things. So I think these are the priorities that a parent should do, and help them build it. Because if they don't learn it at home initially, then it becomes difficult for them to learn or adapt to when as they grow up. So I think I would give these 2 points, like, give them some responsibility also.
Yeah, it's important. Even if they are 10 or 11 years old, or if they are like, as you said, a 3-year old, 4-year old, just give them the task to put their toys in the basket, get one plate from the kitchen, those kind of small tasks, and then slowly, slowly, bigger tasks, clean your cupboard, water the garden, and all that. And we
Yes.
pamper them a lot. I think that's one mistake we do. But yes, I agree, giving responsibilities will make them understand that what task they do is also important, and I think that'll also help them to grow more into helping others and helping their parents more.
Initially the small tasks may look big to them, but over a period of time they understand that these are vital tasks, I can do it, and they build that I can do it, which is lacked quite often. That
Yeah.
confidence in them that I can do this, that is not there. Like, you ask kids today, can you cook, they will just, like, even if a 15, 16-year old, 20-year old, no, I can't, just go and bring some takeaway, that kind of thing. They don't want to know even basic cooking, they are not willing to do. I can't do it. That is the
Yeah.
first thing they will tell. Can you clean up your cupboard? Can you iron your clothes? I can't do it. So that I can't do it is become very common nowadays. So, and they look for help, external help, which, these things, like, this is not my area. That kind of segregation is there. So these small tasks, if they can accomplish, I think in long run it helps. And the mind, your neurons, your mindset gets built that I have the capability to do things.
Yeah, exactly. Now, about the book, I know, like, it's
Yeah.
not really easy to just writing. It might be easy, but then all the other process, there's so many things like editing, formatting, choosing the right cover page, and the introduction. There are so many things. So what was the most challenging part of being an author for you?
Yes, for me it was like, I could see a lot of information that I wanted to share, lot of content that I wanted to share, the readers can benefit from it, and they could get solutions immediately. So there was a lot of it for me to, like, stop at some point of time, that every go in one book to, and to bring it to a stop, like, picking few topics and bring it to a stop. That was a big part for me. So I started like what I should incorporate and what I should leave out. So that was the biggest part for me as a struggle, challenging part. And I wanted that the people, because I can say that I'm addressing to the young parents, especially to the young parents. So like they should be able to implement when they get the book. So whatever they're reading, so I had to make it relevant to their life, because that age gap there, because I'm already at 15 and today's parents are around their late 20s or early 30s or something like that. So the gap between and them, so I should be able to bridge that gap and be able to make the book more relevant to their times also, what they are going through. So that was one challenging part for me. So these two aspects were very challenging, and I tried to simplify the book as much as I could, and that is why even the manuscript I gave few young mothers, especially to check if they could relate and resonate with my thoughts and what I was conveying. And they were the people who gave me the review I put as a back cover. So I got some 4 reviews from young parents, like young mothers, and they were like, "Yeah, what you it resonates. Like you are answering our questions. Whatever we were finding difficult to find, like you are answering our questions." So I was happy with it. I'm connected to the youth also today. So I'm very happy with that. So most biggest part for me, the biggest challenge was the content. That is what I can say.
Yes, content is the challenge because when you write, there's so many things to include, but then to put it in the proper order, the chapters, some you might can't include that, some there might be more, but you have to fit it in. So yeah, I totally agree. And getting the testimonies from young mothers and they resonating with what you've written, that's amazing there.
Yes. I was also happy with it.
Right. Okay. Now, after all these serious questions, I have a fun segment for you. Okay. And
Wow.
it is called the rapid fire round. I will be asking you 3 random questions. You can answer them in one word or a sentence. Okay.
Yes, fine.
Okay. My first question is, which is that one signature dish of yours that everybody likes?
Khichdi
Okay. Oh, yummy.
loaded with ghee.
Oh, ghee means a lot of love, right?
Yeah,
Good. Okay. My second question is, which is your favorite holiday destination?
a lot of it actually. Maybe some forests, natural
Forest.
setting.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. You like greenery.
Yes, it's so peaceful. No gadgets, no technology there. Away from the city.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay. My last question is, tell us about the one best surprise you ever got.
My birthday cake that my kids brought for me. So
Wow. So cute. How old are they?
now they're 17. When this happened, they were about 10 or 12 years.
Okay.
So, so I was not at all aware of planned it out something, and they made their dad buy it for them. And it actually, I had forgotten my birthday.
Oh, okay.
And at night, they came up with the cake, and no, that was the biggest surprise for me.
So cute. That was the end of the rapid fire round. Your answers were amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Okay.
asking questions. Really well.
You're welcome. Okay, now we are heading to the last segment of our podcast where I would like to ask your advice for our listeners.
Yes, and I think this would be the most important part, because see, advice in the sense there's a lot of things to be told, but I would say that first be make your what you want from life is very important. Only when you're clear of what you want from life, you can contribute to others' life. When I am not clear what I want from life, I don't know what to expect from others and what expectations I can fulfill, what I can do for others, what I cannot do. If I'm not clear, then it'll only be chaos and confusion, and just we are basically surviving. We are not living our life, we are surviving, taking a day forward, okay, but we are surviving. When we know we have total clarity about what I want from my life, then know the same from your spouse, what they want in their life, and how you can both complement each other and together as one unit. When you see the railway track, there are two parallel lines going, but then the whole train reaches from one point to the other point to the junction. There's no conflict between each other. So a husband and wife, they're like railway track, parallel to each other. Both have their own strengths and weaknesses. We need to complement each other and take our journey as a family together from the beginning of life, from the day we come together to the day we die. And along with that, we take our children. The passengers are our children, our elders in the family, our guests, family, friends, relatives, whoever are there, they are the passenger train. So it is our duty as a husband and wife, as a spouse, to complement each other, work on each other's strengths, encourage each other, achieve their purpose. I may have a different purpose, you may have different purpose. Both of them can have different purpose, but yeah, if they're supporting, they can both of them achieve their purpose in life and make them feel fulfilled. So I think this is very important if you want to live a long, happy life. If you want to live, yeah, day-to-day basis, you just keep attending the chores. That's it. But if you want to really live a fulfilling life, if you want, then I think you need to communicate. That will be the biggest thing. Learn to communicate. I can do this, I cannot do this. I want to do this, I don't want to do this. Whatever is purpose, your values, whatever is, communicate. Then come to a decision, like, a decision that you both agree to, and then move forward. That this is how we work on our finances, how our values work, this is our what beliefs work. All of it can be talked out. See, any country getting into a war or any zone, it is because we are not communicate. But the same thing, when you communicate, things become easier and you understand the other's point of view and you can move forward. So I would say communication is one of the biggest element, and it will help you to survive. That is the reason, like, we are all frustrated in life, because we are surviving. When we know what I want to achieve in my life, then it will be, when you keep achieving those stepping stones, you are more willing to contribute, in not only in your family, even in the society. And that helps you to grow. That growth there, and that satisfaction is there. So I think it is very important to know where you stand and where you want to go, and how will you go. Are you going alone, or are you going through the process together? Are you giving the other person that space to move along? All these things matter. So communicate very well between each other, and take a joint decision. You will not pull down the other person, because you knew what the other person was looking forward to. So you will not bring down the other person, and both of you can grow amazingly well. I think that is the biggest thing that I would say, and which I feel is quite not found in family, because these things have never been prioritized in our life, that we need to talk, communicate, and decide on our goals, our decision in life. So life itself is a journey, but yeah, those small goals, every small station that comes in your life, where you want to be next 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years down the line. We need to micro goal set those things and then move forward with a bigger picture in mind. Okay, 20 years down the line, where do I want my children to be? Okay, fine, that is a goal. But where do I want to be in next 5 years? So all those things matter. So communication is one of the, decide together, come to conclusion together.
That was beautiful advice. I mean, advice is, I can say, from having communication, taking a joint decision, and getting a clarity of your goals and your partner's goals, right? Sometimes we'll just be selfish, thinking that, okay, it's my thing, I want to do it, I don't care whoever, supports me or not. But you're living under the same roof, and you should have the other person's support also, and also support the other person to achieve the same. So yes, that was totally
Yes.
amazing. Totally amazing. Thank you so much, Bhairavi.
Thank you so much, Karin.
I have to also thank you for taking time from your busy schedule and doing this podcast with me.
It was a great pleasure doing it, and it is an honor to be on your platform. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
having me
much.
here. Thank you.
Okay, listeners, if you have liked this episode, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are also on Spotify. The snippets of this podcast will be available on Facebook, Instagram, and 6 other podcasting platforms. Thank you for listening. You have a great day ahead. Stay safe, stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.